Hello, we're joining you live from Silverstone. Everything here is ready for the start of a thrilling new Motogp Grand Prix. The skies over the track are clear of clouds, and the latest weather reports forecast temperatures in line with the seasonal average. Here we are live from the Motogp class starting grid, where riders and engineers are talking over the last few details before the start of the race.
Hello and welcome to another video, and today, as you can see, we're on Motogp 18 once again for another episode of the Crutchlow career mode, as we'll flick to Crutchlow in a second. But there has been a slight problem between now and the last episode. Now I will explain in a second once we get into the grid, because I do have some sort of video to go along with it. But yeah, you see the top right corner, I went on to Championship. This was me going on to actually record the this episode, and it just put me back at Austria again. So I'm guessing the game didn't save properly. So that meant I had to redo it, and these were the results. You can pause them quickly if you want to have a look at where everybody finished, because I'm not going to have them up on the screen long enough for me to read. So unfortunately the Championship standings are slightly different than previously, and I think they're a little bit less in our favour. So they should pop up in a second or two. And so now we lead the Championship by 92 points with Dovizioso, which I don't think has changed. Marquez is third with 166 points, Maverick Vinales is fourth with 150, and Valentino Rossi is fifth with 135. It didn't seem to play out in the same way. Obviously Zarco probably got a bit of a better result because he's moved up ahead of Miller and Lorenzo. Petrucci wasn't fighting for the podium, so he didn't really get many points. It was a very different race to the last one that I actually recorded. Obviously Mir's still sixth there, obviously with 89 points. And if we look on the Constructors' Championship, I'm sure we're a little bit further away from Yamaha than we were, so it's a bit unfortunate there. But I suppose that's just how it happens. Ducati are still third, Repsol Honda are fourth. The order's pretty much the same, except Avintia went up to 9th. I'm not sure if they did that before, but I think Rabat got in the points in this race. It was a much easier race, actually, to be fair, than the one I recorded before. I won it quite convincingly because I didn't make the same stupid mistakes I made in the previous one. But we are now trailing 10 points behind the Monster Energy Yamaha. But going into this episode, it is our home Grand Prix. But it's I've said but way too many times here, it's going to be a difficult track to get the moves done on. The first sector is not really that user friendly for overtaking, so we're going to have to try and get the moves done. Well, you know, we'll try and get as many as we can done in the first sector, but we probably won't be in that great of a position at the end of the first lap, unfortunately. But I suppose that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes, and not a lot you can do about it. We've just got to try and cut through as many as we can and just try and get onto the back of the leaders ASAP, because this is not a great track for me either, so I can't run that that much faster than AI in clean air, so I just wanted to kind of cling onto them and go with them. Obviously I still should be able to lap quicker than them, but as I said, it's not a track I'm particularly great at, and I've done more practice at this track in the wet than in the dry.
The riders are on the Silverstone starting grid and are ready to face one of the most demanding Grand Prix of the whole year.
Yes, one of the most demanding Grand Prix of the whole year. Now we've got all that talking out of the way about what happened, so I'm apologising for that, but the lights are on. We're waiting for the lights to go out to start this British Grand Prix. Lights down, away we go. It's been a bit of a mediocre start compared to our teammates Fikaki Nakagami, but we're going to the left hand side, going around the outside of Fikaki as we approach turn 1. Around the outside through Cops, we are back up, well, we're up into 21st position now. You can see Morbidelli, Abraham and Aleix Swagger going a bit, so a bit of contact with Abraham there. We'll try and go around the outside of Morbidelli, sitting in behind Aleix currently, but Morbidelli trying to go back on the outside pass. The 2 Tech 3's past Aleix as well, up the inside of Bang 9. Are we going to force him? Looks like we're going to have to leave room for him on the inside, so he's probably going to get back at us. But we're now behind Fabio Quartararo, obviously pole sitter in the Jerez Grand Prix. Around the outside of Quartararo, we're in the stream of, now Rabat. It was previously Petrucci, but looking at the inside of all these, or the inside of Rabat, Petrucci, Spagaro, and we're now slotting in behind not Dovizioso, but there's a crash for Spagaro, I think he touched our rear end a little bit. Oh, a bit of contact with Rabat. Where am I getting all these names wrong for? I'm just not even focusing here. But there's a few AR going wide up ahead. You can see Vinales being one of them, forcing Lorenzo wide. But the inside of Iannone and Mir now. Instead of Mir on the Suzuki, past Mir up into 10th position. So that's been a pretty good start. We saw Vinales went wide, forced him, Rins and Iannone wide, as well as Lorenzo. On the inside of all 4 of them though, into Abbey Corner. We've just got the inside of a Repsol Honda, a Yamaha, a Suzuki and an Aprilia all into one corner. So now we're slotted into 6th position behind Valentino Rossi, who's having a look at Johan Zarco on the KTM, almost crashed in there for Valentino as he bumps up over the curb. We're having a look at the inside into the loop, but not doing anything about it. Would have been a bit of a collision to say the least. I think through Aintree now, trying to get on the throttle as early as we can. We are closing to the back of the Doctor here. We're moving to the left hand side a little bit. We're moving to the left hand side once again. Pulling alongside him, we should be able to break him here. We'll probably have to do all three of them. On the inside of all three. All the inside of Miller. Miller's going to cut back up the inside, but Miller's up the inside. So Zarko. Rossi cut the corner a little bit to cut the inside of the pair of them. Now Zarko's going to try and re-attack the pair of them. He's going to get back up into fourth position. Rossi's been the loser here. Back down to fifth. But I guess he started out last out of all of them, so he didn't really lose out. Miller's lost his position around the outside through Woodcut of Miller and Rossi. We're now side by side with Johan Zarko starting the second lap. Round the outside of Zarko, braking as late as we can for Cops. Up into third position already. So despite the fact I said that it would be hard to overtake on this track, we have managed to do so. I'm up into third position. Really aided there by sort of like Spagro and Rabat going quite slowly into the right-hander, and then obviously Vinales forcing himself and Lorenzo wide with a couple of other riders. I think Rins being one of them as well. We are now half second behind Marquez and 4.5 tenths in front of Zarko, so we have got to try and bring down the gap to obviously our rival Honda man. But really our championship rivals Dovizioso there, and he's stretching away a little bit at the front. We can't let him win on our home soil really, and also it's sort of on his home soil the next time. Yes, of course, the San Marino Grand Prix being in Misano, but it is basically in Italy, and it's treated like a second Italian Grand Prix to all the Italians. Rossi got very close there, so obviously he managed to pass not Petrucci, Miller and Zarko, and he's right on the back of us, and Miller's now dropped behind Lorenzo as well, so Lorenzo making a bit of a comeback. Rossi only 3 tenths behind, we're now 7 tenths behind Marquez, so we lost more time. We're into Abbey Corner, basically a corner you can guarantee to gain some lap time on the AI every lap. Petrucci battling with the latest Spagro, so Petrucci not having a great race here. He's really been screwed over. Oh, almost crashed on the curb there at Village. We've got to watch out for what we're doing. Can't be mounting those inside curves too much. Out of the loop as well, a bit of a dodgy mounting the curb there, so that's allowing Marquez to stretch away a little bit. Now about halfway between Marquez and Rossi again, a bit on the green, a bit dirty there. But we were trying to get on the throttle as early as we could through Aintree. We're closing down towards Brooklands now. We're going to close right to the back of Marquez. Lorenzo passing Miller as well. No, not Miller, sorry, Zarko. Vinales passing Miller as well. So Miller dropping like a stone. Seems to be a bit of a trend with his AI in this game. And a crash for Aleix Spagro. Obviously himself and Miller actually did collide in the real life Spanish Grand Prix last weekend. But through Woodcut Corner we come now. Trying to pull alongside Marquez. We swoop to the inside. Hitting the brakes for Cops. If we got the position done, I think we have fastest lap 53.6 there. I'm not sure what Dobby's was, but it was in the 54s I'm sure. But Marquez comes swooping up the inside there with second position. And we're trying to close up through turn 3. We're going to flick it back on the inside for Beckett's. Up the inside through turn 4 Beckett's. We've done it there. Back up into second position. Sort of rode round the outside through turn 3. Up the inside through turn 4. Beautiful move. And now we've got 8 tenths and 1.5 laps to catch Dovizioso. I think we can probably do it. But if you look on the map, obviously Rossi did get past Zarko and Miller. He's definitely pulled away from them. And he's sort of closing in on Mark a little bit as well. So don't count Valentino out of getting a podium here. Especially, you know, one of the most rider tracks here in... Oh, we've ran wide through Vale though. We've ran wide through Vale. Oh, Marquez tried to sweep back around the outside, but we've still got the position. He did get ahead for a second there. You saw on the sort of the indicator on the right hand side that he did actually make an overtake according to the game. But we did go a bit wide to Vale, and we're now 8 tenths still behind Dovizioso, but we're closing up through Abbey Corner. As I said, obviously last lap, it's pretty much a guaranteed gain on the AI every lap. Would cut another good one to gain some time on them through Farm. Braking for Village now, or try not to hit that inside curb like we did last lap when we were pursuing Marquez, going up through the loop. And then obviously it'll be Aintree next. Petrucci's managed to salvage himself 13th while back down behind Quattararo again now, but getting on the throttle early, got on the green again through Aintree, so we can't be doing that too many times, or the Surds will be awarding me a penalty, I'm sure. We're close to Motogp to Brooklands, we've got to the inside of the Brooklands, are we going to make it move? We've hit it a little bit, Dobby there. That didn't really make any sense what I've just said, but we hit Dobby a little bit, that's what I've tried to say. But Dobby's going to try and sweep back at the inside through Luffield, he's back at the inside through Luffield, we're going to get on the throttle as early as we can. No, Dobby's managed to get the manoeuvre done. So Dovizioso retakes the lead through Woodcut. We've had to lift. Oh, the curb! Almost a crash on the curb. That curb is almost instant crash if you keep the throttle open. So I had to close the throttle. That's put me back behind him. We're trying to go round the outside through Cop's Corner. Are we going to be able to do it round the outside for the lead of the British Grand Prix? But no, we go side by side with Dovizioso down towards Maggots. We've been in contact with Dovizioso to Maggots round the outside through turn 3. We've had to go wide to leave in the space through Beckett's. He's gone really wide through Beckett's. He's probably going to sweep across the track. Yes, he is through turn 5. So we've taken the position ahead of him up into first place. I think Mark might have got the position ahead of him. Yes, he has. So we've got half a second lead to Marquez. You can see on the mini map behind. If those two keep scrapping, Valentino's got a really good chance at second position here. I'm sure Dovizioso is going to be desperate to get that past Marquez. It all sort of started with the contact between me and him into maggots, and that sort of put him on put us both on a really bad line, but the AI don't deal with that very well. But into Vale, we broke nice and early so we don't run wide this time, flicking the bike over from left to right. Mark's gone back at Dovey again though, and Dovey's still got the position on Mark, and you can see, as I said, if they battled on the mini-map, Rossi would catch up, and he has done. Dovey's caught to us though, 3/10, so it's now just between me and Dovey, and you can see Marquez and Rossi having a bit of a battle over third. We've run wide through Abbey, so it's not ideal. Rossi up to third position, as I said, he probably would be able to capitalise, but Mark's back through once again, so the battle between those two guys, they don't really like each other very much, so they're going to be battling hard, tooth and nail for that third position. Through the loop, trying to straighten up the bike as much as we can as we go through Aintree, because we don't really want to go on the green again. Through Aintree, getting on the throttle as early as we can, staying on the curve this time. We've got a 4/10 lead to Dovizioso, so we come flying down towards Brooklands corner. There's obviously a corner we've been quite strong on in the whole race. Aleix Bago passes Happy Sire in there for 20th position. You can see Dovey's closing up, and Takaki Nakagami passes Siren as well, so Siren dropping like a stone in these last couple of laps. A couple of corners, and I think Rossi just mugged Mark, and Rossi's mugged Mark through Luffield, and Mark's come back. Who's it going to be? But as we go through Woodcut, we're going to win the British Grand Prix. Cal Crutchlow a bit off the track there through Woodcut, but it's going to be another win. Perfect points so far. And we're looking at the race winning overtake now from on board of Dovey. You can see me and Dovey made minor contact here through Maggots, which pushed us both wide through turn 3, and through Beckett's I managed to sort of get back to a tight line, but Dovey stayed wide, then ran wide through turn 5, which then allowed Mark to get straight to the inside. Almost a bit of contact with Mark there, and Mark has got the position ahead of him.
Cameras will take us to the podium to see the award ceremony, but in the meantime, let's take a look at the final ranking of the MotoGP class.
So in the end then, Dovizioso did end up finishing second. Obviously we did win quite convincingly. Rossi did get third. If you look at the fastest laps, Rossi had the second fastest lap by quite a way. Really, he was only 4/10 off me, where everybody else was another further 3 or 4/10 off him. So Rossi really had the pace to get second. If there was more laps, he probably would have done. Marquez fourth there, only second behind. Lorenzo ends up salvaging fifth. Obviously him and Vinales, we saw them go wide earlier on. They managed to cut through Zarco, Miller and Mir. Well, in fact, they were in front of Mir beforehand, actually, weren't they? But Lorenzo managed to salvage fifth, which is a pretty good position for him. 10th place for Ian Earney, 11th for Rins, 12th for Petrucci, 13th for Bagnaia, 14th for Tito Rabat, 15th goes to Quattararo in the end there, getting the last point on that Petronas Yamaha. Morbidelli very close to points there, only a couple positions away from his teammate in 17th place. Obviously Polis Bagro in 16th, Happy Sire in. He managed to gain about 4 positions then, did he, in the space between the last corner and the line. Okay, 19th for Carl Abraham, 20th for Miguel Oliveira, 21st for Aleix Bago, and 22nd for Takaki Nakagami. And the championship standings, obviously we've still got a perfect 300 points, 97 point lead ahead of Dovizioso, so we can basically wrap this up with 4 to go if we keep on this streak. Obviously Marquez now really dropped out of the championship here, even dropped out of contention of Dovey, to be fair. In third place, unless Dovey has a crash, of course. Fourth for Vinales there. Rossi closing up on Vinales once again, so just 9 points between those two Yamaha riders in 4th and 5th in the championship. Jean Mir stays top rookie in 6th quite convincingly. Zarco stays 7th, obviously moved up after that second attempt at the Austrian Grand Prix. 8th for Lorenzo there, he moves a position. Miller moves down. Rins stays put in 10th position. Petrucci still in 11th. Ian Earney 12th. Polis Bagro 13th. Francesco Bagnaia 14th. 15th for Tito Rabat. Fabio Quattararo adding another point to that tally, so he's closing up on Rabat there in the battle for 15th. And Miguel Oliveira stays with 2 points in 17th position. Aleix Bago has 1 in 18th, and I believe it's all non-scorers after that in 19th, 20th, 21st, and 22nd, who I believe are Siren, Morbidelli. I'm not actually sure. Yeah, so it's in 19th Morbidelli with no points, 20th. Happy Siren also with no points, 21st Takaki Nakagami no points, and 22nd Carl Abraham was the one I was missing there with no points also. Honda continued to lead the constructors, obviously perfect points so far, 93 ahead of Ducati, so I think that might be Dovey's points. Actually, perhaps someone beat Dovey once, but I think pretty much Honda and Ducati are just me and Dovey. Obviously Yamaha probably quite evenly split there, because their teammates are pretty close to each other, only 9 points in it. Still 4th for Suzuki, pretty much head and shoulders ahead of KTM, who again are head and shoulders against ahead of Aprilia, so they're probably going to stay as it is. But that lead's actually, I think it's gone up by a point there in the end. Between us and Monster Energy Yamaha, obviously after another strong finish for Rossi and Vinales there. 3rd still for Mission winner Ducati, 4th for Repsol Honda, 5th for Suzuki, 6th for KTM Factory Racing, 7th still for Arma Pramac, 8th for Aprilia Team Racing Gresini, or Racing Team Gresini. I still managed to say it wrong. 56 points. Quite far ahead of Avintia there, so they are pretty much in no man's land compared to the team ahead of them. Obviously Pramac, they're quite far behind them, but quite far in front of Avintia. Only 2 points in it between Avintia and Petronas Yamaha, obviously, because Quattararo and Rabat being the only scoring riders from those two teams. 11th for KTM Tech 3 with 2 points, and still no points yet for LCR Honda Idemitsu. But I hope you've enjoyed that race. It was quite fun. Obviously, there was a big battle with Dovi right at the end there on the last lap. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I shall see you in the next one.